you would always want to be on the side of having good credit.
Do you think it pays to have good credit? Well, there's a lot of things in this world, Bill, that I look at and I go, was that there for a reason? And what I mean by that, look at credit cards, right? That's the number one thing that people have issues with these days are those freaking credit card balances. But I joke a lot with my clients about this. So many of my clients are like, hey, Chris, I have this credit card. Should I use it? How much should I pay back? And I tell them this, I say, listen, why do the bank only want you to make a minimum payment? It's not to help you, it's to help them. The reason they want you to use that minimum payment or pay that minimum payment because if there's a leftover balance on that card, legally they can charge interest on it. Credit card interest is like insane. It's 27% APR on those credit cards. So I tell them this, I say, hey, look, if I gave you $500, why would I only tell you to pay me back $25 a month and we can be in good standings? That's because I can charge you, almost near 30% interest on that leftover balance. Now, if you were smart, you would just pay me back the 500 that you borrowed, and I don't make any extra money off of you. That's how, I try and educate some of my clients. That's how they should use their credit cards, get the free rewards and not pay any interest. Sadly, America doesn't work that way, and people are in a lot of credit card trouble right now. So, with that being said, do you think, in your opinion, that credit scores themselves were structured to keep Americans in bad debts? Because there are situations to where if we pay off certain things, it drops our score because we paid it off too early. So, do you think when these credit scores were first structured many, many years ago, that someone in the office somewhere, they were like, hey, we're going to generate this credit score and we're going to keep people in debt. And then when people get in debt, more interest is charged and things like that. Americans are way more in trouble that way. Do you think that's even a thing? Do you think they were just structured this way purposely?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Chris, I'm gonna back up a little bit because I
Yep.
think you made a really important point,
Yep.
and I want to highlight it. In my book, Say Goodbye to Credit Card Debt, I say that there are certain traps that have been set by the banks to trap a consumer in credit card debt. To your point, they're intentional traps, and the biggest one is the minimum monthly payment.
Mm.
And you're 100% right. If you owe $1,000 principal balance on a credit card debt, most minimum payments are 3%. That's $30. Now, keep in mind, when you pay that $30 goes to pay the interest on the $1,000 from the previous month, which is at 28, 29%, plus the balance. So that minimum payment, that $30 or $40 you're paying isn't going against the principal, it's interest in principal.
Hmm.
And you'll look at your bank statement. I know you're a savvy guy. Most people don't look at their bank statement. Right on their bank statement, it tells you if you only make the minimum monthly payment, how long it will take you to pay off. Now, I've got a
Years.
balance of less of, I have a credit card with B of A Visa card. I have a balance of less than 30% of my credit limit. And when I look at my statement to tell me how many years it would take me to pay off the current balance by only making the minimum payment, it's 22 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a trap. Now, to your question about the credit score, that's a trickier. So the banks clearly intend you to trap you into debt with the minimum monthly payment. The credit score is a more complicated trap because they reward you for having some debt and
Hmm.
punish you for having no debt.
Yep.
The ideal debt they want you to have is around 30, 35%. You
Hmm.
know this. You understand credit
Yep.
scores. They and they want you to make that payment on time. So what I like to say, Chris, is the credit card companies have created a score to let you know how well you're playing their game. because to your point, the credit score is their game and they're letting you know how well you're playing their game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the credit score is not a measure of wealth. It's not a measure of financial well-being. It's a measure of your credit worthiness.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to this episode. If you wish to be a guest on our podcast, visit StirgusCreditRepair.com and click the podcast page to schedule an episode. If you need help with your credit, you can also sign up at StirgusCreditRepair.com and start your free trial today.
Stirgus Credit Repair. Stirgus Credit Repair. If you want a new house, call us.